And it's our anniversary.
Mm-hmm. And it's our anniversary. 112 days of carnivore update. And it's faith and eyes, faith and mine.
I don't know. I'm homeschooled.
Faith and it's our anniversary.
There you go. That's probably somewhat right.
Faith and eyes.
Faith and eyes.
Faith and eyes.
Wow.
Anniversary.
What a way to start it.
How many English courses have you taken?
I speak English as a first language. See?
I think you speak a lot of Spanish, actually.
How's our audio? 5x5. Tell us what's up. Y'all have to communicate with us here.
Ryan.
This is going to be an Ask Us Anything. So you're going to have to ask us stuff. And I'm going to answer some commonly asked questions that we get perpetually in the comments. So we're going to address those. If y'all are listening on Rumble, we are monitoring the live chat. A lot of people don't know that there's a difference on Rumble between the comment section, which is like a permanent comment that you don't see during the live, and the live chat. There's a separate box for the live chat. So if you want to ask us questions on Rumble, you're going to have to use the live chat to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get started.
So we wanted to start today's live stream off with your update on what you've learned since starting carnivore.
So what I just cut out of my carnivore diet, you hear lots of carnivores talk about beef, butter, bacon, and all that stuff. And I cut out butter.
Okay.
Because I was having postnasal allergic reaction to butter, which was in turn creating inflammation. And so, so I cut out the butter and immediately felt better today. I kept tweaking different things and it was never improving. So I'm like, well, the last straw has to be the butter. I'll cut it out this morning. And with talking about excluding and all this stuff, you know, we have a very large food forest. And so we have about 400 fruit trees, and everybody says, what are you doing with the fruit trees? Are you going to dig them all up and bury them under? Are you not doing that anymore? All that stuff. We still have, I ate about 15 figs today, y'all.
Wow.
And they were spectacular. And we will continue. I will continue. I can only speak for myself. I will continue to eat fruit when it's in season and exponentially enjoy it. And
I had 3 figs today.
Yeah.
People want to know why. What are you going to do with all that extra fruit?
I mean,
it doesn't even make it into the
house.
house.
I think the thing is too is that you assume that there's so much fruit, but there's really not. So I think that's a big assumption too, is that, you know, I mean, the pears produce a lot, but honestly, the pears, I mean, we've been giving them to the pigs. Like, I mean, the little kids have been enjoying a pear every now and then, but it's not like you're going to sit down and eat 10 pears. I mean, and it's just not going to happen. I mean, figs, and figs are like this big. So, I mean, you ate 15 figs. Okay, so
they were spectacular.
You know, but on a normal day, you're not eating 15 figs.
And either. Ryan wants to know if I wake up stuffy. I do not. I only have a post-nasal response after I put butter in my coffee. And that's how I have my butter in the morning. And it's no bueno for me.
Right.
My shoulder continues to feel good, but it was tight in the front. And I'm just like, man, that's weird, because I forget when we added the butter back in, but
it was just recently.
Yeah,
I mean, it's only
60
been
days
like
of carnivore were like superhuman. I mean, it was like my energy level, my consistent energy level was unbelievable, which is why I didn't take my coffee out. I'm like,
it was scary. I was like, I don't think I can handle you. That's what I kept
and that's
saying.
how I feel right now. I'm like when I'm feeling really good, I am like the most annoying person you'll ever meet, because I have weight. I'm too excited about stuff. I'm too charismatic about stuff. And most people generally that don't understand my personality really hate me when I feel really good. So that's why
true.
That's why living a kind of partially ill, sick life was actually better for everyone that has to deal with me,
you. Yeah.
because I'm this softer, gentler, tired, crusty old man.
Yeah.
So
well, that's actually like we figured that out when you took that personality test too, because you're a debater, you know, and it talks about that too. It's like once you get to know him, he's great,
cantankerous.
But then like from the outside, like people seeing you, you know, and like the real like out and about and stuff would be like, wow, that guy seems really grumpy and angry and stuff. But then if you were
back
actually
in my day,
but then, you know, if you were around him a lot, you'd be like, oh, he's not that bad.
No,
yeah,
he's not really that bad.
So we're gonna see how taking the butter back out. We've only had it, I would say,
immediate.
We've probably been doing butter for about 2 months now.
Yeah, right.
I'd have to go back and look.
Are you gonna swap it out for tallow or no? You're not.
Yeah,
gonna do
I'm
tallow?
totally fine with the tallow.
Okay.
I'm
gonna try it too.
And what I did is just as a test thing, and that's what I love about all of it is like, oh, well, only do this and only do that. And this guy says this and that guy says that. And this guy is exclusively right. And that guy is exclusively wrong.
No, I don't think that people are saying that.
No, but some people, you know, they want to be tribal in this thing too. Like it's exclusively this way or that. Like, no, try what, you know, are you, okay, I'm going to answer a question. Are you going to eat like this forever?
Right. Well, that's the people that aren't. I'm just saying, and like the carnivore community, I think is very supportive. Like they're like,
of course,
oh, that's working. So tell me what you did.
Even,
you know,
like even example, like there was this one carnivore video, right? And there was these two dudes, and they had this. They had Anthony Shafee on, right? And they were like, let's talk about all the reasons Paul Saladino is wrong. Well, I'm like, it's not wrong. I mean, it's what works for him. Yeah. And that's what he's doing. And he's explaining it. Yeah. That's what works for him.
It's and Dr. Chafee and Paul Saladino have had lots of videos together too, where they very cordially have the debate. So I think that's the cool thing about it in the community is like, I was listening to a Kelly Hogan video today. I think it's her last one that she just put out. It's really, really good. It's totally worth watching if you haven't watched it. And it's talking about for the long haul, like trying to, like, you can tell yourself, I'm going to do this today. Like, let me just get through today. And if that's what you need to tell yourself, that's fine. Like, I'm going to eat this way today but the whole lifestyle, you're really not going to see the long-term benefits until long-term. And she was saying, like, at 3 years being carnivore, never cheating, never anything, she was not where she is today. And at 5 years in on carnivore, she was not where she is today. So like, you're going to continue to progress and see things. It's not just weight. It's not just the scale. It's not just, losing inches, but it's all of these different things of your whole body healing. And you're going to continue to notice all of these your whole body healing. So, I don't know. And you're really going to continue to
Dark Skies is going ketovore.
Notice all of these repeating. Your whole body healing.
What's it? Oh yeah. It's got that. Okay. Yeah, Dark Skies is going ketovore. Report back, Dark Skies.
That's awesome.
We are here for you. Just do it.
Yeah, ketovore is a great intro, and I think Dr. Barry and Nisha cover that a lot on their channel. And like,
ketovore's the gateway to carnivore.
Today, my little kids had some strawberries, and my little ones still have fruit. And, on occasion, we usually just get bags of like frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries. And now we get a bag of frozen. It's like a mix blend, and it's 14 cents an ounce, which is better than the frozen blueberries and strawberries because price is a thing when you're feeding 8 people. And so I put some in a bowl and I let it defrost, and they picked through that and ate a little bit of that this afternoon. And I picked at a couple of the strawberries, and I was like, I don't know, I maybe ate like 4 or 5 strawberries, and I'm like, oh, it's good and refreshing. And I'm like, that's good. Like, I'm good. I don't have to have like a ton of it. I don't know. It's just finding what works And now I had some lower back pain this morning. I've been feeling a lot more sluggish. We've been out of tallow for about a week and a half. So as a default, I usually use my tallow in my coffee every morning, but because I didn't have it, I went to the butter. And I know now twice I've done this experiment where I've done half a stick of butter in my coffee. I have 2 coffees a day, and so it's a stick of butter, which is supposed to be really good, especially for women, but for everybody, a stick of butter a day is supposed to be really good if you listen to certain people. But for me, I put on weight, and for me, I get sluggish. And now it's been at least a week and a half of doing this, and I was having like some lower back pain.
So you're taking out the butter.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to my tallow. We just got it today, so I'm going to go back to my tallow. Now, I enjoy a slab of butter on like my burgers, and
I'm still probably going to season with butter. But the majority of what you're loving about the butter is the salt and the fat. So if you do salt and tallow.
Yeah, I like tallow on my burgers too. It's very good. The tallow and the salt is very good. I did it all that time without the butter.
Tell them where we get our tallow from too.
So I get my tallow in a 7-pound container, and I buy it on Amazon. It's grass-fed, grass-finished tallow, and you can shop around. There's lots of different.
The Beef Initiative has a local farm that makes tallow, and I want to check out the price. Yeah, I want to check that out. That's awesome. I keep saying I'm going to check it out, and I'm very busy.
That's great.
Yeah, but I like it. There's no smell. There's no flavor to it. It's just.
Oh, it is.
It's great.
Very good.
And it's shelf stable. I just keep it on the countertop.
Pete wants to know it wasn't the bacon. It was not the bacon.
No.
I've scientifically verified that bacon is yummy and delicious.
Well,
it makes me feel so good.
We took a break from bacon for about a month or so.
Baconed out.
We kind of got baconed out.
And we totally diminished our pork, totally. We
haven't been eating pork at all. But the bacon, we just add back on once in a while. Like a month will go by and we won't have bacon, and then we'll be at the grocery store or something, and we're like, okay, let's just pick up a couple packs of bacon. It's just something special. Like the kids enjoyed bacon today.
Or a bacon wrapped brisket is spectacular.
Right. And that's the fun thing too that I was talking to my girlfriend about today. Was I told her,
you have friends?
You need to get a carnivore friend, actually, a real life carnivore friend. She's coming up on 1 year.
Real person?
No way.
Yes, 1 year.
Incredible.
IRL.
Carnivore.
Sorry, y'all. I feel really good. I'll be quiet.
Her and her husband are coming up on 1 year carnivore, and I told her she needs to get an Instapot and to cook her briskets and to cook her roasts and all that, and she needs to get
that's toxic
a smoker.
That's toxic.
Bacon. Pete,
that's toxic, bro.
Turkey bacon. That's like vegging bacon.
That is.
I guess you would just, hey, if you like it.
I mean, if you like it, I guess.
Hey, if it floats your boat.
Should you throw butter on that?
I personally like the bacon just because of the high fat content.
Correct.
That
really
is
my attraction to bacon.
That's really it.
It's a very high.
It tastes really good,
and it's an incredibly easily edible fat. And that's why it tastes so good. It just tastes so good because of the fat.
Yeah. And the other funny thing is me and you did this during the weekend. James made a big old brisket and he covered it in bacon. And we made the mistake of I literally probably only had like 6 or 7 pieces of the bacon that were on top of the brisket.
It was smoked.
And it was absolutely incredible. And the downside is that I barely could eat any brisket because I was so full.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I was just like,
oh, man, I kind of ruined my appetite. You want to tell Jennifer how to...
Oh, this is a great question.
Yeah. So we actually have a roast. Well, we have 3 roasts in the Instapot right now tonight, Jennifer. So my method is kind of the way that I do everything very haphazardly in life. But I just take out whatever frozen meat that you're going to use. So say it is roast, or if you can get brisket. Brisket in our area is cheaper than roast. Just little pro tip there. So usually brisket you can get at like $3.50, $4 a pound, $4.50 a pound, and you can chunk that up into like threes. And you can get like 3 roasts out of that. But normally, if it's not a brisket, because the brisket's huge, if it's just roast, I just put them in some warm water so I can take the package off of it and then throw it in the Instapot with water, maybe like half full of water, and put it on high pressure. And I let it cook for at least 2.5, but 3 hours is great. And that's it. That's the recipe. I don't season it. Some people do when they cook here in the Instapot. I don't season it. I just...
And now you know, yo.
I might start giving him butter. I might.
She's going to give me butter to sabotage.
Calm him.
Saboteur.
So anyway, that's it. So easy. So easy. I love the ease of that. And we do hamburgers a couple nights a week. We do roast a couple nights a week. Now we do briskets a couple nights a week, at least because of the price point. And then steaks like once a week. Am I thinking of anything else?
Steaks, and then we do briskets, and then roasts.
Yeah. And then for church, I like to do meatloaf, because it's just really easy. So I'll just take out a bunch of ground beef and just do meatloaf. And like this week, I just seasoned it with some mustard. This is how we do our hamburgers too, by the way. Just,
so good.
Yeah, just yellow mustard and Redmond salt and a little bit of pepper. And that's it.
And
that's
put them on the grill.
And the other thing, since we butcher our own meat, we get them to give us the highest fat. I think they could get up to like 40%. So we get our burgers at a 60-40 mix on the grill, and it is off the chain good, like crazy good. Yeah.
We just have the butcher shop take all the tallow from the cows and put it back into the beef.
Into the beef, yeah.
So whatever that percentage is, we just want the highest percentage. And then if you can't do that, if you're going with beef that you're getting from a market or wherever, and it's lower fat content, then you just want to use your tallow and cook it in tallow or put a big slab of butter on it, because you want to increase that fat. That's just like the main thing.
Tell Walt what you're drinking and pause for a station identification. How's that?
I am drinking some Texas Boys Decongest tea, because I've just been kind of congested of lately, and I just wanted something to drink tonight too.
It's the butter.
It's the butter.
It could be the butter.
I know.
Yeah, it could be the butter.
Yeah. Also, the other thing that butter does to me is before I got on butter, my skin was really clear, and that's the one thing that they do. Some of the carnivore guys and doctors do say when you do add back in the butter or start using butter, your face might break out and you might get some more acne than normal. And that's what I've been dealing with. So I'm going to experiment with taking it out and seeing if my acne will calm down just a little bit. It's not that bad, actually.
No.
Since being on carnivore, it's been amazing. But just a little bit that's still left on me.
I wonder if that's what's going on with James,
It
too.
is. That's when his started happening, too.
Boom.
Yeah.
And also, as soon as he started taking butter in his coffee, he's been complaining that he's been getting congested too.
Yeah.
Huh. That's funny.
Mystery solved. So go on over to TheTexasBoys.com if you'd like some teas or coffees or what have you. Maybe you want some cool merch. Maybe you want to make Orwell Fiction Again t-shirt. Whatever you need, y'all.
Yeah, and we actually, in our carnivore diet, we do, for our only sweetener in the house is honey.
Yeah.
And that's why I sweeten this with. That's what we sweeten everything with. Which is normally only coffee in the morning, or the little ones make their egg waffles, and
they put honey on their egg
they put
waffles.
some honey on that, but there's unvaccinated honey over there on TheTexasBoys.com.
So Ryan says he's congested every morning, which is definitely some type of food allergy. I mean, for as long as I can remember, I know sometimes certain cheeses do that to me.
Yep.
Dairy.
Ryan, is there any dairy? If there's any dairy, man, I promise you, if you take that out, I bet you it goes away. I mean, my post nasal drip, is instantaneous. Like when I take my coffee,
Huh.
and I knew it, and I'm like, because I mean, to start going, okay,
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep. And before we added butter a couple months back, you had always just done eggs in your coffee.
Yep. Yeah, and I still do the eggs. I do four or five raw eggs.
Right.
I put our eggs in there.
So before we did not have butter. We didn't have any dairy. Butter was our only thing that we added back in. And I know, I think sometimes our family's sensitive to dairy.
On a rando cheeseburger, we would do like an organic Colby Jack or something like that.
Yeah, like maybe like a once a month.
Yeah, and I will say this, like when I did a random cheese on my burger, I didn't get any kind of post-nasal.
Yeah. It's probably just like that big chunk of butter in your coffee.
Yeah, just mine, it definitely,
Yeah, it's weird.
The funny thing is I kept saying, but it does taste really good, and it's supposed to be good. Think keto snacks, y'all. It's supposed to be good for you, so that can't be it, And then sure enough, I did it. The first day I did it, oh whoa, man! I mean, I feel like good.
Yeah.
So
that's how you know. I mean, when it's so limited, your diet's so limited that you can, you can try something, and then you're like, oh, yep, that doesn't work, Or I'm fine with that, like you said, like you can eat a handful of figs and you're like, oh, I'm still good,
Yeah, and Pete was saying butter overload, but I was only putting like maybe a half a stick of butter. Yeah. I wasn't dropping like a monstrous chunk. And I mean, when I put the tallow in there, man, I drop a gigantor tablespoon. And don't get any ideas, Matt, because like until you start paying for more groceries, all right, I want you to control yourself. Okay, just saying.
I can just buy my own bucket of tallow.
You can. You could do that, and you could write your name on it. I think that's a great idea.
There you
go. That's inspiring me too. Yeah, I think it's a great.
Everybody has their own tallow bucket.
It's quite interesting, the tallow in there. Now the key to adding the tallow to your coffee, it definitely wouldn't be that good if you just added it to the coffee. You have to immersion blend it.
Yes, you have to blend
if you don't do that.
Same thing with the raw eggs, y'all.
And the same thing with the butter too.
Eggs. Yeah. You got to immersion blend that thing. If you immersion blend with eggs into your coffee, you will not, you could give it to anybody. No one will have any concept that there's eggs in that coffee, period.
That's funny. I haven't yet tried the eggs in the coffee yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, spectacular. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing that for years. Like years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, that's our big announcement.
Hey, prep.
The little ones love their egg waffles. And if you haven't looked that up yet, if you're going ketovore or carnivore or keto and you want to try that, or if you have little ones in the house, it does add excitement to the day for them to make egg waffles. So they just scramble up some eggs. We put a little cinnamon and vanilla in ours, and then put them in the waffle maker, and with a little half a teaspoon of baking powder. That's a secret. And they act like waffles. To me, they still taste a lot like scrambled eggs. So I'm not really it's not my thing, but the little ones, they look like a waffle.
Yeah.
And they drizzle some honey on it. And we even did it up one night and put fruit on it for them, like some frozen berries and a couple scoops of our keto ice cream on there. And
that was spectacular.
Yeah. And that was like a super dessert for them. So they really enjoyed it. But so that's pretty much it. I'm interested to see back to walking again and doing my sprints again. I haven't gotten back into my floor exercises yet, but I want to what'd you say?
Usain Bolt. He was an Olympian sprinter.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Record.
Definitely. That is me in the backyard.
Faith be running like Usain Bolt, y'all. The power of a statement.
That's crazy. You're being silly. Okay.
You did challenge him to a run yesterday.
I was trying to motivate him yesterday.
She's so fortunate that I waited. I will smoke. Okay. Look, I'll smoke all these cats.
That's what
in
he's
a foot
saying.
race. I will absolutely do it. And
I haven't seen you run ever. I've never seen you run.
I conserve my energy until it's needed. And
you're gonna pull a muscle
to defeat you. We will video this, and I will destroy you.
We're gonna have to film it because it's going to go down in history.
We will film it.
Because
it'll be historic.
I've never seen you run
smoke
ever.
The what are you, like 30 years my junior?
He still has a few weeks of healing up for his shoulder,
Well,
but
yeah,
you can race James
more.
or somebody.
No, I'm racing him.
Buddy.
I'm racing Maddie Boy.
And then me.
She's probably gonna beat you.
I don't know.
I will destroy her.
You.
She is a woman. Okay, she's a woman.
So she has way stronger legs than you.
She may have stronger
I
legs than me.
birthed 6 of your children.
She cannot compete with a man. We're not gonna she's not gonna go in the NFL and kick a field goal. All right.
She can run really fast. She's been training. You haven't.
I don't have to train
every day.
I can jump off the couch and smoke anybody in this house.
That is how
in
you
a foot
hurt
race.
yourself.
No. I will stretch first.
All right. So
you'll stretch first. Okay.
Yeah. Once you're carnivore, you don't pull muscles. It's like, yeah, you're superhuman. Just saying. I'll prove it.
Another update is that I trimmed your beard last night.
Yes, it's luxurious. It's more
maintained.
Rounded. It's more
rounded.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Manicured.
Yes.
Manicured.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's our 24th wedding anniversary today.
It's been 24 blissfully wonderful years.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have beat her in a foot race 24 years ago, and I can still beat her in a foot race, and it's okay. But that's my job. Right?
Foot racing is your job?
No, my job is to dominate, have dominion over everything, including foot races, provide.
Okay,
right?
I see.
Right, prepped, dominion.
Okay. I didn't know that. Would you like dominion over our homeschooling, our younger ones?
No, that's your job. I want dominion over everybody's foot race, and I will dominate and defeat everyone.
You're not.
Because it's my God-given
You cannot
DNA.
be Buddy at a foot race.
Well, Buddy's like a little kid, and he weighs like a third my weight.
But you said you can dominate any foot race.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I can beat Buddy.
I think
Buddy's kind of superhuman.
I think he is superhuman at things
he's part Indian.
He's indigenous.
He probably
please use the proper.
Yeah, I'm not. Buddy excluded. Buddy's not allowed to participate.
He's a wild man.
He is a wild man.
He would probably be like, what was that?
He was out shooting doves this morning.
I am going to put those moccasins when me and Faith foot race and videotape it. I'm going to put on the moccasins that Buddy made me.
He puts what in the coffee?
I am going to be one with the.
Oh boy, this is what y'all signed up for tonight. I don't know, just entertainment. Anyway, ask away any questions that y'all have about.
Is this a family argument? No, it's already predetermined. I mean, there's no argument.
It's been predestined.
There's no argument. It's
obvious. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
It's not a truth. It's not a truth that you will smoke everyone. That's not a truth.
No, that's your truth. All right. No. Listen, the truth is absolutely smoke everyone except Buddy. Buddy is not fully
human.
He is like part like wild.
All right. Well,
feral.
I guess we're gonna.
He's definitely feral. Buddy needs a good mountain woman. If anybody's raising up a young lady that's like 3/4 mountain woman,
there you go.
Please reserve her for our son Buddy. He's going to need a good hardy mountain woman someday.
Yeah. We were eating lots of sausage before we just shaved back on the pork.
Yeah.
We do get beef sausage. It's pretty spectacular.
Oh yeah.
Beef sausage is where it's at.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But I do once in a while, like maybe once a week or so, I will pull out one of our ground sausage, breakfast sausage, and I will make that. I just overdid it in the beginning. I loved it so much in the beginning because it was like my breakfast every morning was the breakfast sausage with a couple fried eggs and my coffee. And then I just got...
Is she crying?
Yeah, you were making me laugh.
Oh. Dude, I was so funny. I made her cry. Did y'all see that? Carnivore!
He's crazy. we're definitely giving him butter. We're gonna have to like swap
they're
it
gonna
in
drug
somewhere.
me with butter.
Straight inject.
Straight.
IV drip at night.
So yeah, I backed off the breakfast sausage, but once in a while I like the ground breakfast sausage. It's really good. It's just, I don't know. I just can't do it every single day or anything. And I just been doing like a 16-hour fast for the past couple months. I just stop eating at a certain time at night, and then I don't eat until at least 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My breakfast is my fatty coffee, and that's it.
Yeah, and so like today. So we ate at 5 yesterday, and then I had some black coffee. You know, I had about 12 ounces of black coffee this morning, and then when I got home, since I knew that, and I wasn't hungry. But I'm like, I know the roast isn't getting done till 7:30, so I'm gonna do 4 eggs, tallow, and 16 ounces of coffee with a teaspoon of Texas Boys' amazingly incredible honey.
Yeah. So, and you had that
destroyed
tonight
by the UPS,
and you didn't have any
correct
post-nasal drip, nothing like
Zero.
that. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to save us a fortune not having to buy butter. So, but hey, for all of y'all that enjoy your butter and it works for you and you're not having a reaction to it,
awesome.
do
it.
Do it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that we've tried it for a couple months now, and it's
our
like,
family's just really sensitive to dairy products. It's real iffy.
We're sensitive in general. I mean, we just really loving people that care. And so that comes through in the butter. Just saying.
Guess so.
Oh boy. And he's back. Oh boy.
Anybody say anything on the
Okay, let me check.
Rumble?
I'm gonna check the Rumble, y'all.
I highly
y'all
doubt
are
it,
sleeping on Rumble.
Arranged marriages are a great option.
No, it said make arranged
marriages great again.
Great again, yeah.
I concur with that in a very
really.
Yeah, I think that's.
You think your mom and dad would have picked you out a good wife?
I don't know.
Well, there wasn't much to pick from.
Oh, he had a couple options.
Not really.
There was a couple options that they would have had.
Well, the one you never told that story.
No, and let's not talk about
these things. Yeah.
Right. What's in the past is in the past.
Of the options that they would have had to choose from, would you have been happy with any of those options?
Terrible. Sorry, Mom. I love you.
It wasn't her fault. There wasn't very many options.
No. It was a very small stock pond that had been, toxic waste had leaked into the pond. The fish had mutated. They had 3 eyes, and they had too much access to processed food.
What?
If you get my drift, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, right? Other than that, it was great.
You're terrible.
What is wrong with this live stream? Okay.
What happened to the live stream?
I have no idea.
Ask me more questions.
Please ask him more questions. 24 years, y'all. 24
years. She put up with me, my cantankerousness for 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
Bow season is starting. Any plans? Nope. Don't have a bow.
Dude, Junior.
And you only have one arm.
Yeah, and I only have one arm.
Yeah, that's true.
But very excited for deer season and rifle season. That's going to be really exciting. We went hunting last year, and we were able to shoot 1 buck. I think it was a 9-point, and a good sized buck. And really excited to do it again this year.
Buddy's first shot ever.
Yeah, Buddy's first shot with a 308.
He's like a sniper.
250-yard shot.
Dude, yeah. Buddy is a mountain man. Buddy sniped that fly that was on your arm last night with the bug assault gun, which is like it's a fly gun, y'all. You have to have one, especially if you live on a farm and you put salt in it, and it's called the bug assault. But you had a fly on your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
you
said, somebody shoot this, and Buddy sniped it from halfway across.
I know.
And that's why I wanted Buddy shooting it. And since I'm a man, it didn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
And you're carnivore.
And
I'm a carnivore man, so it really doesn't hurt. It actually felt like good. Oh, shoot me again. Pete wants to know, so I had a pineapple guava and a variegated guava, and somehow both of them died, and I don't really know why, and I would love to grow a pineapple guava. But neither my variegated guava nor my pineapple guava survived.
How much less pressure is it on you with the orchards now that we're carnivore? Like, is it more enjoyable and less stress?
It's so much more enjoyable and less stress to continue to propagate fruit trees and not have to worry about, like, how am I going to water all these things? Which obviously, y'all, I super overdid it when I planted 400 fruit trees. But the beauty of it is I always had this, like, if it dies approach.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great permaculture guys that are like, yeah, dude, if it dies, man, like,
let it die.
It's supposed to be dead, you know?
I personally think the back orchard is amazing because of the canopy layers and everything. And it's so densely planted that there's literally no weeds underneath that canopy.
Yeah, and once the other side catches up, all those insane, crazy Texas-sized weeds. It's all, you know, and we're continuing with the mulberries. I have probably about 15 varieties, and once we get that figured out, you know, that's going to be our tree hay and stuff. That's going to definitely, we'll be planting our other properties, whether it's perimeter planting or however we do it. But, you know, and then once these trees get deep enough tap roots, it's going to help eliminate all this need for water too.
Yeah, we have banana trees in the front, but with the drought, it wasn't just the drought, actually, it was the heat. It was actually before the drought came, just that severe heat literally cooked the banana plants. It literally cooked them.
And I had
absolutely incredible
3 or 4 different varieties. I had Grand Nane and Blue Java. And I had several different bananas.
But the Texas heat seems like it's a different thing. I'm sure it's like Arizona or Nevada, certain places like that's just really hot. It's like it's such an intense heat.
Over there it's dry though.
Yeah, and it's gonna morph back and forth, you know. So we're going into this grand solar minimum, and things are going to naturally start to cool, you know, and Bill Gates and all the guys are going to take credit for it. And as these things start to cool, these other, you know, this is what's kind of cool about permaculture and diversification and all this stuff is, you know, as these heating and cooling cycles take place, like certain things are going to take, you know, that's why with the peaches, we have like, I don't know, 12 different varieties, but you know, the certain times these are going to overperform. These are going to overperform. So that's, you know, and that's, we're watching that kind of come into fruition. So it's really cool to watch all of that. But what's even cooler is to not be like,
pulling your hair
this
out.
Is our only thing to eat, and what are we gonna do? And
how am I gonna can all this jam and like apple butter and stuff? Like, I don't have to worry about any of that anymore. But I was thinking, like, because we watch different people that are in Florida, and they were saying like their heat in the summertime is like, you know, 90 or 95 on most average days, and they're getting a rain shower every afternoon or whatever. So it's like it's a whole lot less intensive than certain places like out west here, you know, where it's just like this, like it's like you're living on the face of the sun. Like I wish I had the clip of the funny guy who does his
name's Matt. I forget what his name is.
The fat Southern guy.
And he does all the reviews, but he was like trying to explain Texas heat.
I'm sorry, he's portly. He's chubby.
Yeah, he's hysterical. He comes from the channel It's a Southern Thing.
Yeah.
And then he spun off it, and his is Matt, whatever. It's just his name. And he is hysterical, but he was trying to explain what Texas heat is like, and
Yeah.
he did a really
It was a
great
great
job.
one.
And I was like, I just want to cut that out and like use that because it's
It was like, it's like living on the surface of the sun and something else
like
too.
burning on fire. Like
Yeah.
it's just like so bad.
Oh yeah, it's like living on the surface of the sun, wrapped up in a wet blanket that was caught on fire.
It's pretty accurate.
Very accurate.
It's very accurate. Yes.
But that
So,
all has changed, y'all.
Drastically.
The seasons are changing.
yeah.
Because of Bill Gates.
Well, it's
Not because of the seasons
our
changing.
seasons
Bill
are
Gates
changing.
Finally made it cool down.
And it's funny because
Climates still change, y'all.
it's all relative because, you know, the other night, it's probably been like a week ago now, I was out back and I was talking to my stepmom and I said, it's really cooling down nice out, you know, now. And she's like, really, what's the temperature? And then I looked on my phone and it was still 90 degrees and it was 7:00 at night. And I was like, oh, I guess I think it's cool, but it really feels great out here to us and it's 90. But I guess to anybody else, that would probably still be pretty hot. But so now it's like normal summer weather.
Yeah.
Right.
For the rest of the world,
country,
this will be like normal summer. But to us Texans, it's fall, y'all. Like, it's like, oh, this is beautiful. We can breathe when we go outside. Like, you know, the humidity is not going to gag us and we're not going to die. Like, your skin doesn't feel like it's on fire, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different
stuff.
Different level.
Got down to 52. Man, cool mornings are kind of awesome. That would be nice.
Where's Pete?
Yeah, Pete's in Cali somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's nice. Are you like in elevation there? Is there?
I would say at 50, he's got to be in elevation to get that warm.
And that cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the cooler weather is way more productive.
Yeah. We'll get cooler. I mean, now it's like working weather. I mean, under 100, y'all, it's just a whole different ball game. Like now I was watching Better Together the other day and they were like, it's time to work now. Like we survived the summer. It's like Texas working season now, you know?
There's a frost warning tonight in Canada. That is so terrible.
Hey, and I wouldn't trade our Texas heat
I wouldn't
for the world.
Yeah, that's so terrible.
We're not saying we're complaining about the heat. We absolutely
I love the heat.
The heat.
I sweat anyway, so
yeah, I rather work in the heat than in the bitter cold, you know, and we don't even get anything compared to there, you know. Yeah.
Whoa.
But
it's beautiful up there. And we love seeing. I mean,
Yep.
Man, it's just
I want to come visit sometime when it's warm.
breathtaking.
Eventually,
you know,
I want to go up there.
Yeah.
And visit that part.
Get there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. Yeah. Southwest Nebraska. Whoa, 47 this morning. Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Nebraska nice right there.
Yeah, we're not going to see those temps until like January, February, and it'll be for very brief time.
Unless we get a snowpocalypse and then we'll get like -5 again.
Yeah. But it's okay. I enjoy the little bit of season that we have.
And speaking, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was because of the Spirko interview or maybe some other interviews, but we got about 10 emails about food forests in a box and fruit tree cuttings, and that's all going to start back up. We're going to get it on the website, but that'll probably be late fall. The really neat thing about what happened this year, I can't quite explain it, is that everything's more lignified. So it's kind of almost, it'll be earlier this year for cuttings because there isn't like all this like
green
super new growth right now, which is really neat. And it's partially because of the way that we got lots of good rain and then we got a 45-day super dry spell. So a lot of stuff is kind of ready to
hardened.
Take cuttings. Yeah, it's hardened. So it'll be a good year for food forest in a box. And we'll announce all that. And if you're on our mailing list, you'll get a notice in a mailing list, and then we'll announce it on the channel. But yeah, it was very successful last year. A lot of people had
fun.
A ton of success rooting, and if you're going to do this failure method like Texas Farmer was talking about, I always love that concept. You just have to know you're going to lose some, right? But the ones that are left are hardy. Well, if you can propagate them right, you can afford to lose some, and then you still have some.
Yep.
You know, you continue to propagate, you keep them, you know, like right now I have like 12 or 15 or 20 different new fig trees in the greenhouse, and I'm letting them grow out and root. And then I'm going to pop them in the ground very soon because it's already started to rain here regularly. So I'm going to pop those in the ground, and they'll be thoroughly established for next year. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, so I was going to say that I was talking to my girlfriend today, my carnivore girlfriend, and I was telling her she has to get an Instapot and she has to get a smoker. And I was telling her how much fun it's been.
She still doesn't have an Instapot?
No. Wow. And she said she was watching one of
Mommy's got a piece of hair on her face.
Our videos.
She does.
Thank you. She was watching one of our videos, and I was using the Instapot for the roast, and she was like, okay, that does it. Or the brisket or something. And she's like, that does it. I have to have an Instapot. Like, yes, you do need an Instapot, and you need a smoker, because this is the thing when you're just mainly cooking meat, it makes it fun, right? How much fun. I was telling her that it
just makes it so delicious.
That y'all have had, because we got the grill out back, we got the smoker out back, and it just makes it like, oh, well, let me smoke my steaks and then put them in the pan and sear them inside. Or let me see how this is. Let me take the breakfast sausages and put them in the smoker in the morning. And let's try it with cherry wood. And let's try it with pecan wood. And which wood is our favorite? And let's do it this way. No, it just makes it fun.
Yeah, we're smoking briskets and steaks. I like cooking my steaks like Carrie over at Homestead how he does it. He'll put his steaks in the smoker until they reach an internal temp of about 125, 130. And when your steaks between like 135 and 150, that's medium rare anyway, and that's just how I love my steaks, is medium rare. And crazy nugget. And so I'll normally leave them in there. And then also I set my smoker to only like 250, 225. And that'll normally only take like 30, 40 minutes. And then I go ahead and take them off of there on a rack like he was showing. So you don't put them on like a flat surface so all the juices are pouring out while you're transferring it. And you heat up the skillet, put some butter in there, sear the edges of it, and then just sear both sides.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
And then you let it rest for about 15 minutes afterwards, and then you cut it up and eat it. And it's
any of y'all. Okay, I want to take a poll for you meat eaters. Okay, because before Faith became a meat eater, she was a meat abuser. Like, she always wanted to turn everything into black hockey pucks.
That's actually true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is true.
And I know these black hockey puck people because I always liked like medium rare, right? And everybody, that's good. And I'm very curious for any other meat eaters out there, like, and especially if you went carnivore, how do you like your steak? Because I would imagine that because it's all part of the deliciousness, you know, and when you're destroying it.
Well, yeah, once you heat up your meat past 150, that's like when it gets like well done. It automatically, all of the fibers in the steak start to tighten up. And then that's what makes it tight, actually. And I just prefer the taste of medium rare anyway.
Yeah, well, you're getting more of the goodness.
Everything. Yeah, it's incredible.
Medium rare
is the best.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's
and
the best.
I think we all have different preferences, and I think they all change. Like, I think it changes over time as your taste buds adapt to things. And I can say that a couple nights ago, I had, what was it that I had? It was something, I can't remember what cut of meat that it was for dinner. And I was like, this does not taste good to me. Like, the beef just did not taste good to me at all. And there was nothing wrong with it. Everybody else had it and enjoyed it. I was just like over beefed. And maybe I was just not hungry. I don't know. But I was just like, ugh. And there's just times like that, y'all. You're going to run into bumps in the road. I have days where I get up and I'll drink my tallow coffee and I'll be like, this does not taste good. Like it just doesn't taste good.
Yeah,
but
listen to your body, and
Yeah.
okay.
And I think sometimes you just got to bore through it too. Sometimes it's just there's a mental thing in your mind that you're just like, I want to go back to my regular coffee and my pumpkin bread. And I just want to like, sometimes in your mind, you're just like, I don't know. I think there's just more going on with the like psychological aspect of it. And maybe it's worse for women because like we're just hormonal. And then there's just different times of the month that like your body is really just like, dealing with different things. And
and so much of food has been a narcotic coping mechanism, and you're reverting to that programming of the way I used to self-medicate, because almost everybody self-medicates with food. It's the more refined it is, the more of an absolute synthetic drug it is. And it really is a narcotic response. Refined sugar is absolutely straight up like crack. I mean, and that's not hyperbolic.
Yeah, that's not.
I mean, that's an absolute scientifically proven fact. And the addiction to that is on par. That's the beauty of what people are finding with carnivore and ketovore. It's breaking that cycle. It's breaking that cycle, getting off the crack. If you just not just eliminated the refined sugar out of your diet, but all the rest of the refined stuff. And even all the healthy stuff that comes in the pretty organic wrappers. If you eliminated all that stuff and replaced it with something incredibly nutrient dense, because, the meat thing, it just isn't, it is elimination, but you're replacing everything you eat with the most incredibly packaged, nutrient dense supplement that God ever created, And
she had a ponytail today.
She did.
And she got it out.
Now, Nugget hasn't really been doing so well on the carnivore. It's not really helping her waistline. She's kind of rotund.
She's actually been doing amazing.
She's kind of rounder, y'all.
But she gained over
her BMI's out of control.
2 pounds on carnivore.
Maybe she was undernourished.
I think she was.
I think she really was.
She definitely had
vegan.
She definitely had mental conditions.
Yeah. She still has mental.
No, she doesn't.
She still has mental.
No, she doesn't.
She's mental.
She was eating the grain-free, what is it, like chicken and sweet potato?
Did her black tooth heal on carnivore?
What are you talking about?
Black tooth?
Yeah,
she still has double fangs.
I don't know. We haven't seen it. But anyway,
carnivore heals black tooth, y'all. You heard it here first. Scientifically proven fact.
She likes her carnivore. We've realized that we'll just feed her once a day, and that makes a difference too.
And lean meat. She can't have fat.
Nugget is all about the line diet.
Yeah, and she likes all the different things. Like today she had hamburger.
She's so picky too now. She's so spoiled.
Nugget is a diva.
Oh, well,
she's
true.
Like, man, she won't even eat bacon anymore.
No, she won't.
She won't. She's like,
no.
She knows we're talking about her.
Yeah. She likes roast.
Yep.
She likes brisket. And she does like hamburger most of the time. But sometimes she wants raw hamburger and sometimes she doesn't. She wants it cooked.
Carl says, chocolate, my brown volume. Yeah, for real. There's some truth to that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's great. Having the freedom from like food just ruling your life. Oh, I know. We've been watching the 24-hour carnivore that Carrie did and Aaliyah put together, and we just kind of been watching it in chunks. And so we'll just like put on one person at a time and go back and watch it. And it's been really great. And the other night we watched, it was a guy and still has stage 4 colon cancer, and it's actually spread to, I think he said his liver.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to be dead, and
supposed to be dead a year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago, he's done 28 rounds of chemo, and last year he just started back on his chemo regimen again this year, but he's been able to handle it and just stay alive he believes totally because of staying strict carnivore, and he's following a certain protocol with fasting
protocol,
so it's super intense, but he started a YouTube channel, and I think he only has like one video up. Maybe he's got more than one now.
Maybe.
And
Blessings on my journey.
Blessings on my journey, y'all. Go check him out. Subscribe to him right
Tell
now.
Him the Texas
yes,
Boys sent you.
tell him
it's
the Texas
very
Boys.
inspiring.
Yeah, he just seems like a really great guy.
Yeah,
and
he's fighting the good fight. Man.
And he is in it for real.
Got 2 kids, and he's like in his early 40s.
Yeah.
And lost his dad to leukemia.
Yeah.
And his mom has cancer too.
Yeah,
right?
she had something. But sounds like cancer cluster stuff.
There was another story on there too. They were interviewing that other guy, and he had a spinal cord stroke.
Yes.
Yep.
Brain stem.
Brain stem. That's
stroke.
what it was. Stroke.
Yeah. Super widowmaker. Like,
and they said the doctors called everybody in, and they were like, this
guy's dead.
He's dead.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Nobody survives that.
Nobody survives it, and we're gonna take him off the machine or whatever, and he's gonna die, and he didn't. Yeah. Crazy enough.
Yeah, and he had been carnivore for like 2 or 3 months.
3 months.
Before he had the brainstem stroke, and the stroke wasn't related to the carnivore, but he was saying that the doctors can't explain how he lived through that and survived that, and he's still fine. And he's just real hardcore carnivore, and he's like he's retired. Him and his wife travel the country in an RV, and he was on there. Anyway, lots of interesting people,
all types of crazy
amazing stories.
There's another one about this guy that he died for an hour and a half.
Yeah. So my buddy T, so at Mountain Readiness, he was asking me, he's like, I want to look more into this carnivore thing, but most of the lamestream stuff that comes up in your feed is going to be like carnivore will kill you and you're going to die and all this stuff. So anybody that's interested in,
she doesn't like that statement.
Anybody that's interested in getting started, you have to check out Sean Baker, who coined the term carnivore. The guy's in his mid 50s, still competes in CrossFit and like sets records.
Yeah.
And he has been carnivore for like 7 or 8 years. And he is a doctor. So he's all up to speed, and he's been tracking and documenting all this stuff. Dr. Anthony Shafee is a neurological surgeon in Australia. He was born in America. He's been doing carnivore for 9 years, and they're following. They're collecting the data. They're, organizing this stuff. There are Dr. Kiltz is the number one
fertility
doctor in the United States, and he recommends carnivore for fertility and all these different things. And there are very legitimate doctors with a track record, and they've been tracking this stuff. And this is definitely becoming irrefutable. Now, whatever anecdotal reasons you want to assign to whatever, we're Christians. I do not prescribe to any of this like ancestral DNA, and this is what our ancestors ate millions of years ago. Now, if you want to buy into all that, you're more than welcome to do that. But we don't prescribe, nor do you have to prescribe to any of that. Dr. Barry's another great resource, but I always point people, okay, Dr. Barry, Dr. Shafee, Dr. Baker.
Yep.
And when if you go to these guys, they're going to provide you with the statistical data. And, Baker has Rivero. So he actually set up a group of docs to consult you through all the way through this. So you know what blood work to get, how to read your blood work, how to respond to stay. That's the other thing. These doctors say, hey, look at your blood work, stay on your blood work. Let's don't just throw caution to the wind or whatever, but try it. But there's an inordinate amount of doctors out there now. Matt went to the dentist, and he found out his dentist was a carnivore. And he said, oh yeah, if you go carnivore, it's going to fix.
He's like, I've been carnivore for a couple years now. He's like, I'm not like super crazy carnivore. But he still gets like, he does the whole, I don't know why he doesn't go to Juicy's Burger, and gets just the plain juicy burger patties, but he goes to McDonald's, which I think Juicy's burger is way superior.
I would
way superior.
That's highly probable
than McDonald's, but that's what he does. Or it for like a real quick meal, he'll do that and he'll get like a couple. But normally he'll just go and order out a steak or whatever.
But he said it'll fix your teeth.
But yeah, he said, oh yeah, he's like that's he was so happy for me that I was on the carnivore diet.
Pete says that me and Dr. Baker have to do a video, and I need somebody to. I love Dr. Baker. I greatly appreciate his humor.
We need to reach out
and his mockery. So if any of y'all could like connect us and Dr. Baker, I absolutely just think Dr. Baker's like,
we should just
cool
shoot him
dude.
an email.
And I would just say, if you're starting out, there's people that have been doing this a long time. There's all the different doctors. There's an endless list of doctors. These are our favorite ones that we're mentioning, but also there's just so many people that have been doing this for like 20 years or whatever. And there's groups to join. And even if you don't join a group, there's a network of people that you can just listen and encourage yourself every single day. And I definitely did that the first couple months. Every single day I was on there. Today, I took a break for a couple weeks, but today I was back on there. I was listening to a couple. Kelly Hogan. Find somebody who you click with, find a group if you need a group. We have kind of our own built-in group here because our whole family is doing it. But if you're alone in your family doing it and you don't have a real life friend that is doing carnivore, I would encourage you. I mean, some of these groups like Dr. Barry's group, I think it's $5 a month, and he'll even go over all your blood work for you and all kinds of stuff like that. Or Kelly Hogan has a group. I know Bella, the steak and butter girl, she has groups. And it's not just them. It's like they have all of these mentors in those groups to help you. So you can find somebody that you really like, jive with, and then you can, have a mentor, have a friend group that you meet up with, and you'll need it. You'll need the encouragement because definitely. It's not easy. It's not an easy lifestyle.
Oh, and the reason you'll need the encouragement is like when you start telling people this, they're like,
dude, it's insane.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, and it's weird because these same people, okay, I have a lot of people that I work with. All right. I work with professing grown men, and that's the profession they make, that they profess that they're grown men and everything. And I won't get into why I don't think they're grown men, but and they're
they don't eat meat, so there you go.
Well, they're not, they're not okay. Okay, I'm gonna not say what I was gonna say. And
you're fired.
You're fired.
Don't threaten me with a good time. But when if someone is in, and I'm a broken old 47-year-old man with one good shoulder.
That's not true. You're a carnivore now.
I'm getting better,
are getting
right?
better.
But
you're thriving.
Even before I started getting better, if I am in better shape than you and you're half my age and I can outperform you,
in a foot race,
not
in a foot race,
in a foot race.
Do you do foot races
in a running hand race where I run in a handstand type fashion
with one arm?
I am not going to listen to you. But no, the reason you need to be encouraged is because until you start doing it and talking to others about it, it's very fascinating. Mm-hmm. Not just the resistance you get to it, but all the mental gymnastics and all this weird anecdotal, God put Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden.
It's way easier to be a vegan nowadays than a carnivore. It's easy.
There's
barely any pushback.
Veganism is floating downstream.
It's incredible. You could be like, oh, I'm a vegan, and say that out loud, like anywhere to any of your friends, and they'd be like, oh, really? That's awesome. You say carnivore, it's like, oh, you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
You're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, there's so there's a lot of propaganda on meat, and
there's
war on meat.
One of my buddies that's supposedly been going carnivore and all that stuff, right? And when we talk, well, I like vegetables. I'm like, no, you don't. Okay, look, I'm a man. I think you're a man, but you just told me you like vegetables, so I question the fact of whether you're a man, you do not like vegetables, dude. Like if you had the option and opportunity to eat like a T-bone or a filet or whatever, right?
Mignon,
you would
whatever.
do it, and you wouldn't need green
Brisket.
beans. Or
Yeah.
you would
I literally have not craved like eating a vegetable for 112 days. I haven't craved like popping open a can of sweet corn, which used to be my favorite, or a can.
I love corn and peas.
Or corn.
I like corn and
peas, string beans. Those were literally my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always love to dump them on everything and anything.
But it's because it was a filler, right?
Yeah.
Because there was never enough meat, family of 8, there's never enough meat. Make sure you get your fillers. And that's when you start looking at all of these postmodern American cuisines. It was always like, you always have to have the potatoes in there because that's the filler thing. Everything, the rice, even your Big Mac or whatever, you need the fries with it. It was always that filler.
Yeah. And I think that that's a really cool point too, is because when I was listening to, I can't remember what his name was, but it's one of the doctors, and I don't remember his name right now, but he was saying that when you're eating a normal diet, even if it's whole foods, whatever, if it's whole foods, if it's keto, whatever, if you're eating a normal diet, you require so many calories in a day to do well, right? To thrive. But if you are eating a carnivore diet, you can thrive on I want to say he was saying like a third of the calories, because you don't need as many calories to thrive, because you're eating this nutrient dense, the fat and the protein is so dense. So as far as from a preparedness standpoint, this is what my takeaway from his little thing that he was talking about. He wasn't talking about preparedness, but what I heard was, wow, this is like a way that we can prep, that we can prepare, and it's nutrient dense, and we need less food. I need to prepare less food. I need to, prep less food, make less food. I don't know. It hits all the things for me because, and I get excited that my kids are owning it. They're out there, they're grilling, they're smoking, they put stuff in the smoker in the morning. We have an amazing dinner by nighttime, and it is a meal, like just a giant brisket. Like you couldn't ask for anything else. Like that is a meal in itself.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the one thing that I would say is watch any legit survivor show. Watch Alone. What do they eat? Who survives? The guy that kills the bear. Yeah, that guy survives because he's eating all that fat. You'll see certain people that don't put up enough meat, and they're like living on the gooseberries and little cranberries and little like herbs and stuff. They don't make it.
Right. And it's not just the meat, it's the fat.
It's the fat. That's period.
Well, story. Like any mountain man kind of situation, 100%. Pioneer type situation, they were hunting their food, they were hanging up their meat, they were eating their meat, they're eating the fat. That is just very simple. And that today, we're bombarded with all the chemicals. They're spraying us constantly, right? They're ruining our soil. They're ruining our water supply, right? The groundwater is contaminated. So even in the best case scenario, I mean, even if you were growing all of your food in a greenhouse, at some point you have to water it. And that water and that soil and those supplements that you're adding to it, like it's just destroyed. And those plants have no way to filter that out. We're not in the Garden of Eden anymore. And sadly, everything is fallen. And, that's the only way that we can explain from a Christian's perspective of why eating such a simplified diet would create so much health.
Right. And I don't think we necessarily have to explain it. I think that's where the error comes in.
Right. We're free to eat meat. The Lord.
Yeah. And so why do we, only if you eat, we've heard very ridiculous, you have to eat what Jesus ate. And somewhere that's delineated, John the Baptist ate locust and wild honey. So if you eisegete that, right? You can say, oh, well, you only should eat bugs and honey.
There you go.
It's weird, man. But we have Susan Klaus. They have a 600-acre ranch in Huntsville.
Susan, we want to buy cows from you.
Are you raising?
Please.
I'm assuming you're raising your own beef.
Please.
That sounds awesome.
Can we please buy cows
if you're
from
not
you?
part of the beef initiative, you should look into the
Just
beef
be part
initiative.
of our beef initiative, please, Susan, and
Yes.
send us an email. And
There you go.
we will come down and buy cows from you.
Huntsville's a drive, though.
That's okay. We will buy enough cows to make it worth it.
Angela wants to know that we're eating just meat and no veggies. 0 veggies.
No veggies.
Along with the meat.
No veggies. And it's funny because like even the other day, it's been maybe a week ago, and I said to my little guy, to little Tex, who's 5, he was talking about, he was in the store with me. We were picking up meat probably. And he was like, vegetables are good. And he was like talking through his own head. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And then
vegan self-talk.
So then I was like, well, honey, if you want me to open up a can of string beans, I can give you some string beans tonight if you want some. He's like, nah. Nobody else eats string beans. I'm not eating string beans. I was like, are you sure? I'll give you some. No, I don't want any string beans. I was like, okay. I don't know. It was just, I guess he was like going into default in his brain, like, because we were at the store and he saw all the vegetables. He's like, vegetables are good. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, if you want something, no, I don't want any string beans. I'm like, okay. But they do have frozen strawberries, frozen blueberries. And that's the thing. I say, give yourself grace, give yourself grace, it doesn't have to be some puritanical thing in the beginning. If you need to ease into it, if you need to do keto first, if you need to do ketovore first, but just do whole foods. If you're going to cheat on fruit. That's what, I told my older boys in the beginning. Hey, if you're craving something, if you want something.
If you're doing the keto thing, don't fall for all the dumb fake keto Oreo snacks. Like all that junk is retarded.
Right.
Yeah, it's bad.
And like Dr. Berry said, real keto is 3/4 of your plate with good fatty red meat and then a little bit of greens, like a tiny little bit, and a little bit of berries. That is real keto.
Yeah.
So anything outside of that is just, it's not. It's just not. You're just soothing your
it's marketing.
taste buds,
It's marketing. And I mean, honestly, when you do that stuff and you do it wrong, you really hurt yourself. So if you are, here's the other thing. If you are going to do carnivore, really do it. These self-sabotage people, right? I know some personal people, right? And they're like,
I do too. Yeah.
I'm doing carnivore, right? And you watch them. They're not doing carnivore, dude. They're drinking, they're slurping their gigantic sodas. They're still sucking down their sodas and everything else.
Yeah.
And like, dude, you're sabotaging yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting any of the benefits of this. And not only that, you're maligning it because when you're triglycerides and all your veins weld shut, and then you're going to go to your doctor and you go, well, I was doing carnivore, and it's like, yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks for not just hurting yourself.
And the thing is, you're going to, even if you're doing strict carnivore and you're not cheating at all, you're going to hit bumps in the road. That's normal. It's a huge lifestyle change. That's normal. Find a group, find some people, watch some videos. That's what I did. I mean, as I've hit different bumps in the road, I've looked up, okay, what's my problem here? And just figuring that out and find ways to encourage yourself too. Find, like, we did those Keto Mojo strips for, I don't know, a few weeks, like just to try to see, like, am I in ketosis? How deep a ketosis? When do I kick out of ketosis?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about ketosis. The healing comes from ketosis. Now that is that is absolutely scientific, verifiable. So the healing benefits come from the ketosis. That's why the ketosis is important. Ketosis is incredibly easy on carnivore. One, you're staying satiated, you're not hungry, and it is low to no carb. The carbs will kill you, whether they're good or Will good carbs kill you? I don't know. Is there, it's like Jack Spirica says, is there such a thing as an essential carb? No, there's not.
Right.
No.
Your body will produce carbs, ketogenesis. That's all part of ketosis.
Right.
Yeah, it does it on its own. So it's a God-designed, self-regulating thing that you were created to do, which is why Inuits and why people in Alaska, it's why they shoot a moose and a deer and they bag all this meat and they freeze it so they can survive the winter. They're not eating a well-rounded diet.
No.
Period. They're not.
No.
Just, it's not even possible without a grocery store.
Right.
And, people that live by the seashore and stuff, they ate shellfish, they ate fish, they ate all those oysters, and they're high fat, they're dense, right? So yeah. And I think Prep for Eternity was saying about vitamin C. Your need for vitamin C is extremely lowered when you're on a carnivore diet. So you don't require as much vitamin C as somebody on a normal diet would. But there's nothing puritanical. If you feel like you're getting run down, you feel like, hey, if I pop a couple vitamin C pills, it'll help me.
Yeah, I take Peter McCullough's protocol. I take 3 grams of C every day. I take 30,000 international units of vitamin D. I still take that. I take selenium because I prescribe to Brownstein's theory on iodine.
Yes.
I take an enormous amount of iodine as long as you're taking selenium with it.
And I take 4 drops of 2.5% iodine. I follow I take
25%.
Right.
I take 4 drops of 25%.
Yeah. And his thyroid, everything is going really well. And it's been a couple years that
and everything we recommend is absolutely terrible for you, and it will not do anything good for you.
100%.
Because if we claimed that it did, the powers that shouldn't be, could potentially have a problem with that.
Oh, right, yeah. Natural.
So actually, go consult your doctor and do your own research. This is not
with
medical
the CDC
advice, right?
And the who.
But there's a woman doctor, Dr. Bright, you can look up. And also you can just look up Nisha Berry's videos, and she'll share about her Hashimoto's and supplementing with iodine and how she does it. And Dr. Bright has a whole protocol on it for women, especially if you're going through menopause and all that kind of stuff. That's really good as well. And manganese. Manganese is another manganese is something that you only need a tiny
We're
bit
not
of.
going Greek on y'all.
You don't need it very much of it. Don't overdo it. You can overdo it tiny bit, but manganese is something also that you cannot get in your food.
Mineral,
it doesn't matter how you're eating. You're just not going to get that in your food these days. So that is something that one of the doctors.
Speaking of eating,
it's 8 o'clock.
It's past 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Our triple layered pot roast is done. And I am ready to eat.
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry too.
A meat-based meal with no vegetables.
I had 2 hamburgers and butter.
Oh, that's the other thing too. But if you are starting the carnivore diet, definitely highly recommend getting high quality electrolytes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
To add into your water, because without it, it's really bad.
We really like the Relight brand. And
they like Relight. I like Dr. Berg's.
He likes Dr. Berg's. It's less sweet than the Relight, and I think it only comes in 1 or 2 flavors. But the Relight, it is pricey for a can of it, but you only need a little scoop.
Dr. Berg's is not.
Dr. Berg's to me tastes like chemicals.
It tastes artificial.
Yes. But the Relight tastes natural to me.
No, it does not.
It doesn't taste natural, but it tastes good.
Silly.
It tastes really good.
Yeah, it just died. How many hours is that supposed to last?
People were saying in the reviews like weeks.
Lies. Oh, yeah, right.
That's
that was
what
on
for
saying. Less than an hour.
That was on for less than an hour. Maybe it overheated.
Yeah, so
it's so hot.
Oh.
Maybe that's why.
So we have 3 or 4 different flavors of
we have
Relights.
unflavored. I use unflavored all the time. I'm a fan of the unflavored Relight.
I am not a fan of
so
the
bad.
unflavored Relight.
It's so
I've tried
gnarly.
it. It's so gnarly. It's right.
I tried
can't
putting
do it.
honey in it. Is
No, it's
bad.
Now,
great.
somebody said they put it in their coffee. I
Okay.
think the 5 Minute Body Girl. I always call her 5 Minute Body Girl. That's so horrible.
She's
But
the classical pianist, right?
no, that is the beef and butter girl.
Beef
yeah.
and butter. I'm sorry,
No.
I
I'm
mixed
talking about
up 5 Minute Body Girl
Rena.
with beef and butter girl.
Rena from the 5 Minute Body. She puts her unflavored Relight in her coffee. And I haven't tried that yet. But I already have iodine in my coffee and tallow in my coffee.
Carnivore helped your thyroid.
Yes, Carnivore will totally help your thyroid. Totally,
100%.
100%. It will help your thyroid, but also iodine will.
Iodine. Yeah,
help.
iodine, relatively speaking, read Dr. Brownstein's info. Iodine will fix your thyroid, but Carnivore will reinforce all that stuff.
Yes, it's going to balance out your hormones and get everything back in action. So,
wow, we have like a very hoity San Pellegrino with some unflavored element.
There you
That
go.
sounds very schwanky. That sounds very high dollar.
Rhonda, no, I think I've seen her before.
Yeah,
Were
you know, Ron, she already introduced herself. She's Carnivore Leo. Or yeah.
Yeah, but you were on Homestead How? You were on Carrie's channel, I think. I know you from there.
Probably.
Yes. Yeah, we're not that hard. I'm just kind of not that hardcore yet. Rhonda,
Okay.
forgive me. I'm
Why
still
do
a
you
little
need
squishy.
to take iodine with selenium? Well, you take iodine because it's an essential. You absolutely need it.
You're not getting it from your diet.
And what's really neat at Mountain Readiness, you know, you can actually create your own iodine from walnut husk, which is really cool. So I'm going to be collecting
cool.
this information because it's very cool. But the selenium helps you thoroughly process the iodine, and what it also allows you to do, it makes the iodine water soluble. So any iodine that isn't absorbed by your body is passed through your water waste system. So that way you're not going to get any kind of buildup or whatever.
Right, because you're taking a heavy
I'm taking
amount.
I'm taking an extreme. Everything I do
It's very
is
extreme.
extreme.
Just like your foot race.
Yeah.
Foot racing.
That's why I run extremely fast.
We'll see.
And I could destroy my wife of 24 years in a foot race easily. And we will videotape
We're gonna
it.
do this
We will
video.
videotape it. I just said we're going to videotape it.
We're
y'all.
going to videotape
So
it.
if that speaks to my age,
wow.
we're going to videotape it for y'all.
What will we play
And
the
it's gonna-
videotape in?
We're going to videotape it on a beta, and it'll be Betamax.
Nice.
Not beta male like Beto O'Rourke. Okay. We're going to beta tape it for y'all and
All right.
play it back.
Say goodnight, Johnny.
Good night, Johnny. Okay, hold on. I got to answer some more questions. You're sucking me in. What are some new? Do y'all ever have times when you are bored of the same thing?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why you got to prep the beef properly. You got to treat the beef properly.
You got to mix
Yep.
it up.
Mix it up.
Sometimes you have burgers. The next night you have a roast. The next night you have a brisket. The next night you have a steak. You got to keep it on rotation.
And nothing tastes better than Simeon said this from formerly Swedish Homestead. He was quoting Michaela Peterson. Nothing tastes better than the way feeling healthy feels.
That's true.
And that this is a self-rectifying mechanism.
Mhm.
Once you do it for real, once you thoroughly commit for 30 to 60 to 90 days, and you do it for real, and you start realizing your body mass index conforms to where it should be, your sleep conforms to like a normal human being, and you don't become some kind of crackhead nocturnal animal, that doesn't sleep at all and wakes up 80 times a night to urinate. Once all those things happen, it's a self-regulating mechanism. Like, dude, I am not eating whatever, you know, and people, hey, this is our culture and we try to be nice. And hey, we have potlucks at church, right? Right. I'm not doing it. I didn't cheat at church, slept great, did my intermittent fast. You know, I ate, I'm going to go eat. I'm in my 4-hour window. I'm eating, I'm going to bed. I ain't eating again until tomorrow night at dinner.
I think it sets a good example too, when you're like at a potluck and you only get beef. It's a good conversation starter, you know?
Well, it's great. Yeah. And it, you know, and it offers,
I just love doing it because it's very masculine too. You only have beef on your plate.
Yeah, I'm a man.
Yeah. It's like,
why do you only have meat? I'm a man.
Because I'm a man.
Yeah.
Duh.
And I mean, there's usually fruit there. You could have a couple pieces of fruit if you wanted to.
I did have lots of fruit.
You know,
I'm not anti-fruit.
you know,
as long as it's not processed and doesn't have sugar on it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to get bored. You're going to hit bumps in the road. That is life. There is nothing easy. And there is grace. Get a bag of frozen blueberries. Make yourself a little cup of frozen blueberries. If you need to just get over the bump, you know, that night, if you just want something to munch on, you know, get some pork rinds. Eat your favorite meats. You know, it doesn't have to, if you need shrimp, if you need, you know, we don't have a whole lot of wiggle in all of that because we're doing it for 8 people. But if it's just you and your husband and you want to do shrimp one night, or, you know, you want to do chicken wings one night and you do mix it up, do whatever you want. There's lots of meat on this planet. God made lots of
good questions,
creeping
like
things.
At the end,
yeah. Arifa asked, I hope I said that right. What's the latest time, right? Well, Shafi eats like at midnight. I mean, so there's carnivores that eat super late.
You can eat whenever you want. Eat anytime and eat until you're full. That is the beginning. And eventually, after a few months, your body is probably going to naturally get full. You're going to eat like ravenously for a couple months. And then, especially if you're healing, especially if you've been, you know, yo-yo dieting and all that stuff and starving, you're going to probably be ravenous for a couple months. Just eat whenever you want and eat until you're full. And then after that, your body is going to naturally go into its own cycle. And whether that's a 16-hour natural fast that includes your bedtime sleeping, or, you know, you're going to play around with it. And like right now, you're playing around with a new thing of just eating like a every 24-hour deal. Is that what you're trying to do? Work towards? It seems like that's what you're saying.
By default, that's what I'm doing.
By default.
I'm going to start mixing in like 24, 36-hour fast too, probably. I'm probably going to start doing
just
that.
to play around with it.
Just to, you know, you keep tweaking it, and, you know, fasting there, you know, there's great spiritual reasons for fasting. There's great physical reasons for fasting. And then there's prepper reasons for fasting. You know, if things get challenging and difficult, right? And you train your body to fast and you're receiving all, you know, then, you know, if you're able and accustomed to all that, what if you only had to eat a couple times a week, you know? And and it's because this all gets forsaken in this modern American culture where, no, you got to eat 3 times a day, you know, that way you can have your big fat gut and it's going to hurt and that's going to hurt. Right. Well, you know, that's all predicated upon Walmart. All right. So, there you go.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to practice doing some fasting.
Yeah. And I mean, you're going to mix it up. And like, I love Kelly Hogan, but she says, you know, do one thing one day, switch it up a little bit different the next day, or just like maybe once or twice a week, you switch it up and just do something crazy, right? Staying on carnivore, but do something crazy. If that's a water fast, if that's a fat fast, if that's I just ate 2 hamburgers this day and the next day I eat 3 carnivore meals a day, whatever it crazy is to you. You know, if it's I ate sardines once this week, and, you know, just keeping your body guessing and changing it is really good too. Yeah. Because it's the way that we test and we learn what works.
I mean, rather than listen until a doctor, just try it for yourself, you know, and see if it works, do it. If it doesn't work, stop doing it.
That is not medical advice.
That's not
Right.
medical advice. And we do not have any common sense whatsoever. And we strongly encourage you to never use common sense.
This is a
Never use ration.
comedy show.
Never
For
use
Pete's
reason.
sake. There
And
you
never draw conclusions from any type
And
of
there's no
observable fact.
natural answers for anything.
No.
Exactly.
And
No natural
all of the
methods.
answers come from a stainless steel factory and
True.
from a test tube
Correct.
and from always trust the scientism. All
That's
right.
true.
Worship the scientism, and Dr. Fauci knows. So be afraid of the droplets.
Chocolate tea.
All right,
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't worry about
We're
it.
signing
Shelley.
off to go
Drink
eat
your chocolate
copious
tea.
amounts of meat with absolutely no vegetables.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So signing off.
Thank you all so much for coming on here and staying on until the end with us crazy people. And the foot race video will be out soon.
It will be. And I am going to do the push. I'm going to do a push-up video so
Oh, there you
everybody
go.
can see that I'm not blowing smoke on the
People were
push-ups.
saying that you were blowing
No,
smoke.
I don't think anybody
Oh.
thinks I'm blowing smoke, but I'm
Okay.
going to prove it.
You're
Look,
going to do it and then do the foot race.
no, if you didn't, if there's, you know, we live in an Instagram world. If you don't take a picture or video, it didn't happen.
That's
all right?
true, though.
So there
It's
you go.
true.
All
Because they lie so much that you just have to see the video.
The
Right.
boys
And then
are
when I'm
working
doing
at the ranch.
push-ups, they're going to be like, that's CGI.
That's deep
That's not
fake.
even real. They're deep faking
He
Texas dad
does
now.
amazing push-ups.
That's
y'all.
true.
All right.
All right.
See y'all.
See
Thanks
y'all
for hanging
later.
out.